Okay. So as we have discussed about this overall ideas, talent from higher education for innovation and all. So we'll move towards the overall uh, education related things now. Next. So I'm not just I put here for the focus and the service required. The acceleration style is nothing but like for potential one you should have certain mechanism and all, and then focus on scaling and other part for startup. Then focus to support maybe in the initial time what kind of activities as a higher education we can plan. So you can understand attracting and inspiring new talent, connecting quality research, IP. These are the aim we can say where our focus should be. So Canvas related workshop can be planned, especially for business idea. Then basic website building or e-commerce, the shopping website or something, or maybe some presentation things can they, if they can prepare, or maybe a general advisory kind of things. They can meet couple of industrialists and other, the individual or professional from the same industry, so that this basic initial advice can be taken from. On the other side, on the team side, how that can be functional. So target and milestone planning can be made. Then knowledge sharing session for creating that knowledge. Then team building exercise can be planned within the our own higher education, our institute. And team commitment building can be done. There are a couple of the such exercise available where we can identify through some surveys or through some the question answer for team commitment building the exercise. So now if we talk about the other part for the team and culture building, so company registration, key agreements, they should know what kind of agreements, because sometimes it happens our team members fight each other. They may not have their the common the opinion towards some decision or something, and at that point of time they want their share back or stake back or maybe whatnot. So they should have certain agreements also, and a communication tool can be created, finalize how they communicate within the team. It is informal or formal. If it is informal, that like WhatsApp or some way they may communicate, but in formal generally it is through email or from website or some the business tools by which they should communicate with each other, so that in future also they can track. They may understand which work was done by whose which team members. Okay. So in the business, the other part, the 0 and 1. So actually, once they have the idea, quality idea, maybe they have gone through all the part, then they should start working on customer development, market development, rather we can say. Then product strategy, which kind of product they will build first. Then design is also a part of it. MVP launch. MVP is a minimum viable product which contains basic features. So with those all the basic features, if market ready to accept, then they can go ahead. Otherwise not. So that's why MVP launch is required before included or loaded all the features, and with high price if they launch, then maybe the market cannot accept. So with basic the features, rather basic features, we can say the exact pain point which you have solved and you are putting that as a product into the market. So they should able to understand, market should can able to understand, yes, these are the things, these are the, you can say, the product containing the main pain point, you can say, solved within this kind of features or that feature. So that is what the MVP launch is required. And based on the response or feedback which you receive for your MVP, that minimum viable product, you may have certain the challenges, issues, or problems. So you may rectify, you may work on it, and then again you can launch your MVP again. And if that MVP is successfully launched without any delays, without any problem issues, then maybe you can go ahead with your final, the production. So before final production, this is actually, required. And MVP is nothing but, you can say lab manufactured product, you can say workshop manufactured product, you can say, because it is a mere just a prototype or advanced prototype. So that's why that particular MVP launch is, desirable, essential for the startups. Okay. So when we move towards, you can say, the startups, so actual below to this 0 and 1, you can see that company registration. So as of now, Startup India has mandated that any innovators who wants to take the benefit of startup or as a Startup India, then they should register their company as LLP, Limited Liability Partnership, or the Private Limited. Then only they need to register on Startup India to get the startup registration, the certificate that is known as DAPP certificate or DPIIT certificate. So this registration when completed, parallelly your MVP launch, you get all the success and other things, then your actual startup will start, where you require to document all the documents and everything, because as a company, you might need to comply all other things on the Ministry of Company Affairs, that MCA. And then a couple of metrics and analytics you need to do for your competitors, for your teams, for your scale, and many things. Then you need to create some business models or revenue models, because when you are into the market, your single strategy may not work. So you must have various the strategy in layman term, we can say plan A, plan B, plan C kind of things. If plan A doesn't work, then we'll move to the plan B, or we'll through the plan B will proceed. Okay. On the other side, on the idea side, market strategy, business development, A/B testing, alpha beta testing, we can say. The alpha beta testing is nothing but like internal, the micro within the industry testing, and then maybe you are going out with the market, and then maybe you are getting the testing or you are getting the feedback and all of that. Then you will start doing, the marketing campaigns and everything for making the market aware about the product launch and all. So by this whole process, you are actually doing your product validation. If your product successfully, you can say, accepted by the market as it is, then no need to have iteration, that the modification or anything in your product. But maybe based on affordability or based on the consumer or customer perspective, they may require your product in some different form or different size or in different location. Then maybe you need to do the iteration. Okay, it's a small example. Just would like to say, is nothing but like the shampoo sachet and the bottle of the shampoo. So in urban area, generally the bottles 100 ml, 200 ml, 500 ml, 450 ml kind of the shampoo bottles are popular, rather than the shampoo sachets, which are most popular in rural areas. So this kind of iteration, once they have learned the product remains same, the liquid remains same, but in different form, in a sachet or in a bottle. So that's what you can say, the product validation and the iteration will happen. So then maybe you will do development, sales, marketing. At that point of time, suddenly your demand increases and you cannot cope up with the available raw material or within your capabilities or capacity of your industry or of your manufacturing plant. At that point of time, you need to decide to scale up. Scale up in the sense you must have your increase your productivity, increase your production plan, so that you require investors or some companies to tie up. So that is what the investors and other things will come into the picture, and other things follows, like when you have your company with full orders and many the market you are serving, then you must do the recruitment, you must do the business processes, regional branch head, regional head, or kind of things you may do. Then you will start doing actual accounting and cash flow and many things as a normal business do this kind of things. So these are the basic inside the things. The growth academy, ideation workshop can be planned, startup weekends, hackathon, boot camps. I'm just naming couple of events. Then group advisory or some in search for co-founder, SHA workshops, general, the networking kind of things, company registration and other advisory kind of things you can prepare. Random events, meetup, MVP workshops, pitching events, startup clinics, demo days. These all are the things, suitable within this, ecosystem. And this should be done within the academia, within the HEI, higher education institutes, so that students will have that culture and other things. Okay. Now, I just, go through a couple of part of academic entrepreneurship. The academic spin-off, science, industry, society, government, these all are available. And almost I have covered all part, but let us understand this, the entrepreneurial ecosystem within the HEIs. So how things, move from what we can say from one sphere to another sphere. So you can see the commercial, corporate, and content stakeholders within the dark blue color entrepreneurship activity, the tacit knowledge, credit, fees, placement, new entrepreneurs, new research partners, norms building, identity formation, motivation, exploitation. These all are important. But understand the potential entrepreneurial, you can say the circle on the right, talks of what? The students, faculty, and staff. We are not limiting to the faculty or academicians. It is also like any startup, any employee of your institute can be part of this entrepreneurship. So this is again required, and this is dependent on the left side circle, how your structure and every other things. The external factors, external stakeholders, system stakeholders, financial stakeholders. Look at that, the sky blue kind of circle where governing body is written. The governing body, internal stakeholders, university structure, what kind of structure you have created, and core internal stakeholder like service or knowledge, the team, research, teachings, and many things. And based on that, this blue entrepreneurship activity circle has been, fresh formed. So entrepreneurial ecosystem can be, you can say, depending on this all, the structures and bodies and services. So the way you want to spin off within your HEI, you can, do. And at the end, you can see the arrow, a blue arrow, that is startups. So it is not a 1 day, 1 month or 6 month, the game or the activity that tomorrow onwards it will start. But it depends on many aspects, many other factors also. And based on that, you may have such, startups. So these are entrepreneurial, the ecosystem and all. Then just, next is the planned behavior. Now we are coming to the micro part. You should also understand the behavior also of the students who actually want to become entrepreneur or maybe planning to be something else. So look at this, the operational competencies, and on the other side, entrepreneurial competencies. So there are a couple of questions, entrepreneurial attitudes. As a faculty, maybe we need to understand, because right now our role is just a teaching or maybe just doing certain academic activities. But as an entrepreneurial, whether they can initiate, I can be something, or I want to be, if they are passionate, if they are having certain willingness towards that, you can say the entrepreneurial attitudes. And entrepreneurial intention, I am planning to be, like planned behavior. So already they have planned something. And entrepreneurial behavior is something like I am an entrepreneur. I am, you can say, I was, you can say, entrepreneurial or entrepreneurial related things I've already done. So that is what, from entrepreneurial behavior to again attitude, attitude to intention to behavior, and this is a cycle, you can say, goes on. So I just add these things just to understand the students, and we all are the best judge of all the students. Sometimes we may be true, sometimes we are wrong also, but still, if it is, you can say, entrepreneurial, then must understand this particular things, because here I usually or normally I say it's not everyone cup of tea. Since 7 years I have been into the startup ecosystem, And I have many times an opportunity to start my own startup, but I could not able to. So that doesn't mean कि if I'm not doing my startup, so I will not be the part of ecosystem. Right now, I am, you can say, consider as facilitator. If I'm not able to, I am helping others to start their entrepreneurial journey as startup or whatever they want to. I do the network. I also support them by providing the access to industry mentor, academic mentor, technology mentor. Also, support them with all the requirement within the incubation center. Academic intervention we have already done within the university. Like students, as we have ignited all the young minds and everyone, they are now doing their startups. But what about the incentives? Not in terms of monetary. So there was one, the event in 2019 when it was conceptualized that why only you can say the startup, sorry, the gold medal should be given to the meritorious students. Let us start. If any students have done their startups during their last year and still continuing till the convocation, so we have started a startup gold medal to the successful startup innovators who have registered their company, who have certain, you can say, revenue or turnover, who have received any grant, who have received or any award or some achievements. And based on that criteria, we give one gold medal to startup. And within the university, we have mandated that this should be, obviously, it should be of your university. So we have already given 4 gold medal to the startups, to the students. So it was surprised by many universities. They have taken our initiation also, and they are also now doing this kind of activities. One more thing, as an academic intervention, we have started. We have already inserted design thinking subjects in you can say the engineering students especially. Then also we have started PG diploma in IPR related the courses, so that students who really want to become you can say pattern attorney or pattern related things, then they should develop themselves. Okay, so these are a couple of the examples which we have already done, and we are feeling proud on that. Yes, we have too early. We have started since 2013. You can say 2014. We have started these IPR and design thinking activities. So this become the stepping stone for our own, you can say, internal ecosystem. And then we are running our, you can say, innovation council. Okay. So this, you can say, the value creation or other things. And there are competencies, as it is mentioned, operational competencies and entrepreneurial competencies. So the routine value creation on the operational competency, where you are creating you can say the adding value to the routine activities, how we have always done. And on the other side, the explorative value creation, where we are always say new ways of working. So this is all, you can say, by doing this kind of new ways or other things, you are entrepreneur itself. And on this operational, you are improving processes, optimization, efficiency, incremental improvements, and other things. On the entrepreneurial things, you will talk about innovations, new offerings, continuous learning, method development. If you can able to set this kind of things within your academic institutes, that is also a good. It's a stepping, you can say, a starting step. So this is all you can say about the competencies. Next, you can say the foundation for all the ecosystem development. Obviously, as I also started from macro to, you can see the micro. So you should also understand from individual level, we as a academicians or a higher education institute might need to change our attitude towards the learning, providing this kind of knowledge or maybe the resources. We may provide various skills at individual level, motivations and backgrounds, and you can say organization level strategy, and then the overall system, maybe we can say a state or government is planning something within that. So integrating this entrepreneurial education for value creation. So maybe if it has been approved, or you can say considered that approach to be entrepreneurial education, then you must have certain questions. You must ask, you must validate it. Like, do learner gets create, you can say artifacts, some, the outputs for that. If no, then no action based entrepreneurship activity. If yes, then move next to the, are the artifacts considered valuable by, stakeholders outside the creators or and the teacher. Then if no, then on this level one classification. If yes, then are the learner expected to organize the value creation in venture? If yes, then move down. Otherwise, no, then you need action-based entrepreneurial education. It may be on a creation, value creation, venture creation, or sustainable value venture creation. So creation may be a simple. Value creation, maybe you are adding something to that. And venture creation is just like a startup or corporate or social or NGO or something. And sustainable venture creation, when we talk about, then definitely whatever efforts you are putting, you must have certain outputs. So that is why are sustainable. And this learner expected, that to value creation in venture years, then is it the aim to keep the venture going after the end of education? If it is, it can be sustainable. So they should learn. It's not a small project, innovative project that they will complete when they earn the degree, then they go and they wind up all the things. No, they should continue this. So this is all how you can integrate the entrepreneurial education for the value creation. So this is again academic entrepreneurs from university. There are very few. See this, you can see. And from academic entrepreneurs, there are two parts. In our teaching, in our research, in our learning pattern, teaching patterns, we do certain entrepreneurial things. That is the different, you can say, academic kind of, the image which you are showing. On the other side, the entrepreneurs, that the other part, the media, environment, university, science, research, business or industry, or maybe some political government or something other thing that can be part of academic entrepreneurs. And this couple of last slide, which I have taken, that is from the Ministry of Innovation Council, which they have already, put on the website for everybody. They can, utilize this for your own, you can say, the sessions or something to deliver to sensitize your own students for entrepreneurship or startup things. So the entrepreneurial university, just a guiding framework. With this note, I will complete my, the talk. But understand this guiding framework, how it will work. It starts from generally the leadership, organizational capacity, people and incentives, entrepreneurship development in teaching and learning, whether this kind of things, established or not. Then pathways for entrepreneurs, whether it's two-way things. University will provide entrepreneurs to the industry, and industry should come into the university for providing their, you can say, the knowledge or the expertise to the students, so that they can see that particular, you can say, the industry as their, the milestone. And into the university, business external relationship for knowledge exchange. So maybe we will, have certain programs on business or a knowledge exchange kind of things within that entrepreneurial university. Then this will be entrepreneurial university as an international institution. Like one day we may have this kind of, the things for everybody. India is, known for it. And recently under the G20 presidency, we have witnessed that things. Startup 20 has been added to this G20. And now it is, but G20 becomes now G21. So because of the Indians' effort, it was now one country added to this. And now the last point in this is measuring the impact of the entrepreneurial university. So these are the couple of points which I have, taken from my past learning, from my available resources, from my known resources. This can be improved, modified as it is, you can take up. But our role as, you can say, HEI or educator should be effective, so that our ecosystem can be developed in effective manner. Okay, so these are just a few points which I just want to convey. So thank you everyone. and all the best for the development of the nation. Thank you.